Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Merkovich, and that is Emery Hunt, is our the playbook, and we're bringing you our 2010 season preview for the Detroit Lions, coming off a dismal 2-14 year, even though it showed some promise for the future. And of course, the big storyline is them getting one of the best defensive tackles ever to come out of the draft. That's Ndamukong Suh. But let's talk about their offense, led by Matt Stafford. And I think this is a huge pickup right here. I think it's going to be the most productive running back out of the rookies. It's Javid Best. Kevin Smith injured, wasn't really the big play guy. They needed some explosiveness. Their O-line is going to improve a little bit, and Javid Best is going to get a lot of carries. So what is your take on the QB running back situation in Detroit?
Stafford is
your boy, Stafford.
Stafford has to improve on his accuracy and decision making. He throws a lot of picks, a lot of inaccurate passes. He misses a lot of wide open wide receivers, but he does have arm strength, and he showed some leadership capabilities last year. Case in point, that Cleveland Browns game. So he has to really
don't remind me.
He has to cut down on those interceptions and sharpen up his decision making. Get rid of the football quick. Best is going to be one of the more explosive running backs in the league. Detroit may have a guy that's as explosive as Barry Sanders was. I'm not saying he's Barry Sanders, but he's as explosive as Barry Sanders.
He's coming off bad injuries, but this guy, he might have been a steal late, last pick of first round, I believe.
Well, that's why they traded up to get him. You see a talent, you get a talent, and pairing him with a healthy Kevin Smith, whom I like a lot of slippery moves, a solid 1-2 punch. Also, you look at running back Aaron Brown, has some serious quickness and wiggle. Showed a lot in the preseason and showed a lot on kickoff returns as well too. So they have a solid running back core right there in Brown, in Best, and also Smith.
Kevin Smith probably won't be back with that terrible injury. He's been battling injuries last year like crazy. He really got beat up. But back to Best, I think he could have been easily a top 10, top 15 pick if it wasn't for the injuries. And nowadays teams really draft for need instead of over anything. And it so happened that Detroit got him as a very huge need in the late first round. So Best can have a very productive rookie season. Wide receiver, of course, it's Calvin Johnson. He's going to play outside, but they pick up a key vital slot guy. Nate Burleson comes over from Seattle, signs a contract with the Lions. Brian Johnson is still there. Derek Williams had a disappointing rookie season. And they also pick up Tony Scheffler, who comes over from Denver, and he will be alongside Brandon Pettigrew, guy out of Oklahoma State who showed some promise last year and showed some continuity with Stafford. So he's got some weapons, especially Brian Johnson and Burleson can really step up as a 2 and 3.
Well, you look at that wide receiving core, they really need a number 2 to emerge, because Calvin Johnson just got everybody covering him and nobody else made a play. They really need a number 2 wide receiver to emerge. I love the fact that they got Scheffler, teaming him up with Brandon Pettigrew, 2 of the best tight end combinations right now in that division. So that's going to be impressive to see those guys grow with Stafford and help out that passing game and also help out in the running game, because they both can run block as well. But they really need a wide receiver to emerge outside of Johnson. That is the biggest question mark on that squad, is the wide receiver, sans Calvin Johnson.
And the offensive line, led by left tackle Jeff Backus out of Michigan. Left guard Rob Sims gets picked up from Seattle. Really didn't fit in their scheme. Now he comes over to Detroit. Dominic Raiola, we know about him. He's been there forever. Stephen Peterman at right guard. And Gosser Cherilus, former first-round pick out of BC, has really disappointed at right tackle. So John Jansen will back him up. But depth is an issue, of course. Who knows about Cherilus? Peterman, who knows? Sims, is he really going to produce? And is Raiola and Backus really the deal? Offensive line, big question marks, just like Chicago.
Well, just keep an eye on guard Roy Shoney, a guy that had a solid spring, so he can come in and play right away for those guys. And also keep an eye on rookie Jason Fox, groomed to be the future left tackle. But I like the fact that they traded for Rob Sims at guard, so that's going to be huge. At left guard, Cherilus has to step up at right tackle. That's the biggest question. But he did improve some last year, but he has to continue to make that step. That's why they drafted you first. Backus and Raiola, solid. So everywhere else they have some improvement, but I think the O-line is going to look a lot better this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah, because their quarterbacks were getting beaten up last year. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball, where Gunther Cunningham is the defensive coordinator, Coach Schwartz, a defensive-minded coach, former DC in Tennessee. But the big pickup here is Kyle Vanden Bosch to start at the end. And of course, Ndamukong Suh. Cunningham loved this guy. He was drooling over this pick. And I think their D-line is so improved. They bring Corey Williams also. He comes in from the formerly of the Browns and Packers, and he was playing in that 3-4 with the Browns, really didn't fit in. He's now in a 4-3. Sammy Hill got a lot of time last year, and he'll be a depth player now. Jared DeVries another D-end who's really worked his way up the ranks in the NFL. Talk about that D-line. I think it's a very improved unit, one of the best improved units in the league.
Yeah, that's going to be the strength of D-line. The problem is depth behind those guys. The starters, they're going to be extremely solid. They're going to be a lot better. They went from weakness to
strength. You don't have any faith in Sammy Hill?
Sammy Hill is solid out of Stillman. So how many guys come out of Stillman? So Sammy Hill is going to be fine. Also, rookie Will Young out of North Carolina State can provide some pass rush off the end.
Okay, let's talk about their linebackers, which in my mind, I think is a detriment to the team. DeAndre Levy really stepped up as, I think, a third-round pick last year out of Wisconsin. So he'll start middle linebacker. They gave way to Larry Foote. Of course, they let go of Ernie Sims. Julian Peterson on one side and Zach Follett, really unproven. Jordan Dizon will back up Follett. So their linebacker core, really depth-wise and even starters-wise, is a lot of question marks there.
Well, I really like their linebackers. I've always liked Zach Follett out of Cal. He's a guy that was all over the field, all over the Pac-10. So he made a lot of tackles. Coming to start last season, that's big. He's going to look outstanding this year. The question is Dizon. Does he fit the new scheme? He was more of a cover 2 linebacker. That's what they have to figure out. If not, he may be moved, or he may find himself out of a job for the Lions. But he is athletic, but he just doesn't fit this defense. And Levy is a stud, so that's going to be outstanding. And
my boy, Levy.
Peterson is going to provide the leadership that you need from a linebacker, from a veteran linebacker. Peterson can make plays as outside as well as on the D-line if you need him in a pass rushing situation.
Well, secondary, they go with a couple of new guys, but rookie last year, Luis Delmas at free safety, looked like a star in the making. So he'll team up with a new guy, Coach Simpson, who comes over from Buffalo out of South Carolina. Daniel Bullocks could be a backup at safety. And at corner, they got a bunch of new guys. Amari Spivey, who they drafted 3rd round out of Iowa. He's slated to start alongside Chris Houston, who had a lot of troubles in Atlanta. He's out of Arkansas. They bring in Jonathan Wade, another 3rd-round pick from St. Louis out of Tennessee, to back up Houston. Eric King, another backup. So a lot of question marks at cornerback, but at least they have a star in the making in Luis Delmas at free safety.
Yeah, Delmas is a huge star, and Coach Simpson, bringing him over is going to be outstanding because that's a guy that can play football. Was solid in Buffalo until the injuries kicked in. If he's healthy, Coach Simpson is going to be the best underrated
safety tandem. They really need to step up. 30th in the league with only 9 interceptions.
Underrated pickup is Coach Simpson. Cornerback spot, Amari Spivey out of Iowa, a guy that's going to be outstanding. Physical guy, that's what they need in Detroit. Some guys that can step up in the line of scrimmage, be physical with the corners. So the cornerback depth is where the question is. But I really like the fact they brought in C.C. Brown, another UL Lafayette Raging Cajun in the league. He's solid in run support. Pass defense is a question mark. So they couldn't stop the run last year. So that's important to have a guy like C.C. Brown to come in and help out in run stopping situations. But pass defense is going to Eric King could be a starter in nickel. It all depends on health. So they have some questions at corner, but I like Spivey at rookie, and I like the fact that safety, Coach Simpson, is over in Detroit.
I love Amari Spivey. I think this guy is going to be one of the best corners selected in the draft. Special teams really swooned last year. Had some problems with Jason Hansen as their kicker. Their punter is Nick Harris. Punt returner should be Nate Burleson, and kick returner could be Derek Williams, but Williams really had a slow rookie season. Maybe he'll step up this year. They were tied for 26th in kick returns and tied for 16th in punt returns, so these numbers need to go up, and Jason Hansen really needs to hit every field goal he can for them to be closer in ball games and to win close ball games.
Well, Aaron Brown's going to handle kickoff return. He's speedy and guy could get out there and make some people miss. And I like the fact that they bolstered their return units with Dante Wesley out of Carolina, and also Landon Johnson, another guy out of Carolina. So they're going to be fine on special teams. Special teams going to be improved.
Well, Detroit Lions, I think they can get 6 wins this year.
Detroit's going to be fine this year. They have a lot of talent. D-line is going to look extremely better. The offense is going to improve. I can't wait to see how Best operates on that fast turf up there in Detroit. They're going to be impressive this year.
Let's see if they get their money worth with Burleson. I think they definitely will with that D-line of Vander Bosch and Sue. So they made a lot of good moves for the future.
It's going to be fun to watch Detroit this year.
For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan.